description of myself, I come from a terrible upbringing. I didn't have the mom and the dad kind of experience that a lot of people have. I had a father that manipulated every situation and manipulated me and used me, while my mom, on the same hand, kind of had problems with me because of my father. Her love for him so deeply. So I was raised, but I had a praying grandmother. And she kept me in the church, but I was one of those kids that was in church but really wasn't there. I was doing it as a tradition, not by really opening up to God because of what I was going through. So it's not no sensitivity thing for everybody to feel sorry or anything like that, but I'm just telling you what I've been through. And it eventually made me start selling drugs, not caring, and doing all these things that I shouldn't have been doing because I didn't have the experience of the love and the nice upbringing. So I envied the kids that have it, and it angered me when I seen kids complaining about they have little small things like my dad didn't take me to a ball game, stuff like that, and I didn't have it. So it took a while. I was full of anger. I went to the military. Everything ticked me off. But the passion I had was music. And I sold drugs. I kept selling. I had a job. I still kept selling drugs because it was easy to me. I had all the love that I was looking for, but it was the negative one. The attention of getting whatever I want, getting any woman I want, all these things. And I got locked up this last time with my wife. We were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. She was pregnant, about to have my daughter. And I was going to throw a big party out here. I used to be in Douglasville. And I was throwing a big party at Club Ritz and got locked up on my birthday. And I wasn't even doing nothing at the time. But God has his way of doing things. And like every worldly person that's out there, we pray God and tell God, I promise you get me out of this, I'm going to do better. Of course we don't once we get out of it. And I got fired from my job. I had to move. And I came to Pastor Williams, who's not a pastor of the church. And it's just amazing how God worked this out, is that when I came to the job, he never came at me with, you need to do this, you need to do that. He was just talking to me. I didn't know he was a pastor. He let me come to his church one time, invited me with a relationship aspect, and it captured me. That message was for me. And so for a while I was battling how can I take some of the things I love and mix it with God. And going to churches, I was trying to find things, churches don't seem to go out more and build a relationship with the people in the streets. And so we don't tend to feel comfortable in our situation. So I was battling myself. I'm like, man, I like to do this, but if I say this, all I'm going to get is judgment. So I didn't want to do anything. And it took me to come to leadership class one day. And I went to, I forgot where it was at, but it was out here somewhere. And I went to it, and they told me the story of Josiah. And that really changed my aim on everything, because he was 8 years old and had so much going on and so much stuff he had to do, and he did it for God. And so with that, my goal was to take negative and take the youth and never forget where I came from and focus on them. Go to the streets, do all these things. And I acquired media. I DJ'd. And the thing with DJing that you must know that with media and DJing, there are techniques that they use. Do we have any DJs in here? Okay, well, let me explain it. Well, with the DJing, there's more to it than just scratching records. The first rule, I went to DJ Scratch Academy in New York. Yeah. It's just fun. You want to be that one just spinning, so. But nowadays, it ain't even hardly used. It's all computerized. And the biggest technique that I learned that I never knew existed in DJing is that you go by BPMs. That's beats per minute. When you go into wherever you at, you got to know your crowd. You got to know your surrounding because you got to know who you're catering to. And the reason why the BPMs is so, it's called beats per minute. And what the beats per minute does, it shifts the crowd to where you want them to be at. It's not about what music you like or anything like that. It's the tempo that I know that y'all want to go to. And I can easily manipulate y'all with that. I want you to try this at home. You can't take a high tempo, fast paced song and dance slow to it. I guarantee you can't do it. But what it does is, it takes a slow tempo and you can make it fast by gradually doing it. I suck you in with a slow tempo song if you're a slow crowd. And you won't even know that you done turned it to a fast pace because I done manipulated the speed gradually. If I do it fast, you'll stop and be like, oh man, what's going on? But if you're slowly doing it, you just see it rising. You don't even know, you just dancing fast without even knowing. You don't even know it until you watch somebody. And like, man, you were getting down there, wasn't you? You know, but also, I got a passion for film because I started seeing the trickery of what's going on with film. We look at certain things and think because it's a Christian-based story that it's a Christian movie. Like the movie Noah. Do anybody know the real meaning of that movie, Noah? It was made by atheists. His whole plan of that movie was to show that I can take a Christian-based movie and make it into a story of the world. And you won't even know. And so many of my Christian supporters that don't like atheists and don't believe in what I stand for will support it. And everybody seen the movie Noah, seen it, and was so excited about it and supported it. And don't even know. That's why I like what Brother Hart said is that we need to know what we're watching and know what we're doing into the situation. But with film, what I've accumulated is that I know I got a little bit of time, but with film, they go by frequency. And with this is the most powerful one. With the frequency, it controls your heart, whether you know that or not. When you go to the movies, notice it has a build-up too. And it makes you feel a certain kind of way. Sometimes you'll be in a movie and cry and don't even know why you're crying. It's because of the frequency. What it does is certain things like adventurous movies, they crank the frequency up. So it makes you feel suspenseful. It gets you all riled up and excited and you're drawn to it. So what the people in the movies do, they go by statistics. They notice certain movies ain't in certain areas. It's because they did the studies on this. They don't just come out here and make a movie and place it in all areas. They place it in the areas just like politics. They place it in areas that they know where to sell. So if they know it's a youth-based area, they're going to target the youth. But what they do is they poison it. Like they take preachers' wives and LA and all this stuff, and they just show nothing but the negative aspects of Christian living. But I think what a lot of Christians fail at is that we don't reveal realness. We get in this character instead of realization. We'll put on a church suit and act a certain way at church. But in reality, we do certain things, but we may not be real about it and try to hide it. So when a person like me that's just getting into Christ sees that, we don't feel comfortable. Because we're like, man, they don't understand my struggle. They don't know what I'm going through because all I see is a person in light all the time. So it's important that we don't have a character. We be real, period. We have downs, we have ups, but don't act like it's not going on because people from the streets are very observant. They're very observant. They can tell real from fake very easily. And that's the purpose of what I'm trying to do with SAP Entertainment. But I'm trying to bring, nowadays, everything is in a category. It goes by what sells and what doesn't sell. So that's why a lot of movies, we in a remake era right now. And there ain't no realization. Everything has to be a certain way, a certain format. So that's why a lot of movies don't get played. What I'm doing is independent, and I'm bringing realness back to Christian life, where it's showing both sides, good and bad. Because if we don't show both sides and we paint a big picture of everything, Satan will easily tear us apart. Because we're so high up here. Satan will come in and be like, did you know this guy did this back then? If you never say nothing about it, now you got to waste more energy trying to explain what happened, which make people think you're fake. They'll be like, bro, you never said anything about you as a felon. You never said anything about this and that. Oh, I can explain. That's the worst thing you could do to a non-believer. They say, I can explain, but not just give it to them. You ain't got to tell all your business. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, and with music, I listen to music and I present it to the kids. Because when I was growing up, it was all don't do this, don't do that. I did a DJ segment for my church, and the minute they heard the beat, it really didn't get accepted. Not the words, the beat. And that's the tactic Satan uses, is the beat. 9 out of 10 of the time, if you ask these kids what they're really listening to and what they're saying, they don't know. But the main thing they say, man, that beat was fire. And you get that beat, you turn that beat on, they don't care what the words are saying. And that's what he's doing with rap. That's why you notice it changed from a lyricist to he got a nice flow. Because he's flowing on the wave of the beat. You get him with the beat, you trap their mind. And so if we not looking at, what I do is I show them that, look, we dance, we do all these things, you can have fun with the Lord too. So I found artists that take bad beats and put positive swing to them. But when you first hear it, you hear the beat and you automatically think negative and close it off. And that's exactly what happened. And the kids was having fun, and then when it got cut down, they fell back. And it was like, oh. So now they got a thing where they're being fake to us. Because they're like, man, if I do a Dougie, or if I do this and that, they're going to look at me wrong. But who say that dance is wrong? It's what you're doing it for. If you're doing, I understand that having Island in my family, Haitian, that when you do these things, like I know it's meaning, but it's not like that here. You know how when reggae music is seduction, it's things of that nature, but not all dancing has that kind of meaning now. It's just dancing. So when the kids have fun, that's all you gotta know where to let them have fun in. But look, you could dance as long as you're dancing for the Lord, as long as you're dancing appropriate, you're not bumping and grinding on each other, it's okay. And that's what I do, and the kids love it. But if we take it away from them and we trying to constantly God changed a lot. When you go in the Bible, how things started changing in certain areas. The words stayed the same, but the environments and stuff like that were changing. And that's how we got to look at it. One format is not going to work every single time because we're diverse. So, do I have any questions or anything? Okay.